After the Second Invasion War, the title of Shadow Paladin's Grandmaster was handed back to Blaster Dark from Mordred Phantom. Mordred decided to go on a quest to right the wrongs of his evil half. During this period, Blaster Dark has already taken the form of Diablo. He is a strong warrior, yes, but his mind is disturbed from the pressure of being Grandmaster and the departure of Mordred. Under his leadership, the Shadow Paladins continued to fight behind the scenes without seeking praise. Records about them are also not kept. Blaster Dark's style of leadership created misunderstandings and dissatisfaction among other Shadow Paladin members. The trust in the Grandmaster is slowly fading and schism awaited him. On top of this list is Claret Sword Dragon, who once challenged Blaster Dark for the Grandmaster title in the past but was defeated. After the duel, he used the time to amass great power, practicing forbidden arts and recruiting co-conspirators who dislike Blaster Dark's actions, forming the Divided Clique. The Shadow Paladin clan has now been divided into two: those who follow Blaster Dark and the Divided Clique who plan to overthrow him. The whereabouts of Blaster Dark and his troop are currently unknown due to not having any official records. Many years later, the clique grew in numbers and Claret's sword grew in strength. He also learned how to perform stride from the Gear Chronicle warriors he had interrogated before. The king sent Gurgit and his team to investigate suspicious actions coming from the Shadow Paladin under Claret's sword. The Knight of the Sun confronted the Black Dragon. Thinking it was a one-on-one fight, Gurgit was caught off guard and was stabbed from behind by Aura Geyser Dragon, a horrific black dragon that should not have existed. He was summoned by Claret's sword through stride. Claret declared he didn't intend to fight one-on-one from the beginning. Stride was the power he wields and he used it as he saw fit. Adding insult to injury, he mocked Gurgit for not using stride, thinking he could beat the black dragon on his own. Claret's sword leaves Gurgit to his comrades after assuring that Gurgit would not recover easily even with healing magic. As he flies off to somewhere, he was intercepted by Phantom Blaster Diablo and Drag Ruler Revenant. Claret's sword summoned Aura Geyser once more, and the two fought the two Phantom Dragons. After using forbidden spells of reinforcement, Claret's sword Aura Geyser gained the upper hand. Phantom Diablo and Drag Ruler Revenant retreated, and Claret flew to his destination. The Black Dragon stands above the capital of United Sanctuary. Claret Sword Dragon, now calling himself Grandmaster, officially declares his rebellion. His goal? To rebuild the United Sanctuary into a nation of warmongers and walk the path of conquerors. And the Shadow Paladins began their assault. Though generally weak, the huge numbers concealed competent knights and supporting witches who waited to catch the opposing knights off guard. Upon hearing Claret Sword's declaration, Fenrir, who was working for Genesis under strict supervision, decided to ally himself with the Black Dragon. He joined the skirmish on the northeastern side of the Holy Sanctuary and fought against the Blue Sky Knight Altmile. The battle was halted when Fenrir received a message from Skull and Hati wishing for him to retreat temporarily. Claret Sword's forces were able to capture a hospital at the east of the capital, overseen by the Black Gravers. With the patients taken hostage, the Black Gravers, led by Gavrail, surrendered, and was forced to ally with the rebels. Days later, the news of the rebellion reached the allied nation of Neo Nectar, who sent Asha and her troop to help the sanctuary. However, this was predicted by Claret Sword, who dispatched Gavrail and the Black Gravers to suppress the foreign aid. An explosion was heard by Altmile at the west gate. Knowing Felax was there, the Blue Sky Knight moved with haste to aid his comrade. There he finds Fenrir, who beat Felax to near-death state. Altmile declares his resolve. He ordered his troop to advance and give support while he fights Fenrir on his own. During their respective battles, Asha and Altmile were able to unlock Stride Fusion. Stride Fusion allows the wielder to connect with their future selves and attain a new level of power. This was just enough to tilt the scales into their favor. Under Chronojet Dragon's orders, Gear Chronicle arrived at the scene to help stop Claret Sword, who has been driven mad by his own power. With the situation looking dire, Branwen suggested to Claret Sword to retreat, but the Black Dragon firmly stood his ground. He even ordered Branwen to retreat if she wanted to. Branwen, who decided to fight by her lord's side until the end, declined the offer. In a sad, fateful twist, Claret's sword cut down his own loyal follower, declaring Branwen as nothing but a pawn who had outlived her use. Branwen fell to the ground with tears in her eyes. She couldn't even catch the gaze of the lord she admired. Claret's eyes were fixated on the approaching Chronojet dragon's aura. Upon his arrival, the two stared each other down. Claret's sword went on the offensive, but Chronojet only dodged. Not long after, Claret's sword then summoned his final trump card, Supremacy Black Dragon, Aura Geyser Doomed. Claret's sword was able to summon another dragon that should not have existed, using a method of his own called Overstride. Aura Geyser Doomed managed to land a blow on Chronojet. At this point, Chronojet Dragon realized there was no saving Claret's sword. He is already driven mad by his power and the strain of using Overstride. Chronojet Dragon then transformed into Chrono Dragon next stage. The fight between the Dragon of Time and the Black Dragon resumed. The strain of Overstride is taking its toll and Claret was reaching his limits. Slowly, he was losing grip on the control over Aura Geyser Doomed. It was only a matter of time. "Weakness is a sin," uttered Aura Geyser. The Black Dragon, who should not have existed, is now free and penetrated its blade onto its weakened master's chest. Aura Geyser Doomed devoured Claret's Sword Dragon. Chrono Dragon next stage could only look in horror. The fight resumed, and after countless of blows had been exchanged, the duel ended when Chrono Dragon penetrated Aura Geyser's abdomen. The Dragon of Time implanted a magic formula to temporarily incapacitate Aura Geyser Doomed. This moment was long enough for Chrono Dragon next stage to fire his two shoulder cannons towards the Black Dragon. The defeat of Aura Geyser Doomed signaled the end of the Civil War. In the aftermath, the rebels were arrested, but Shadow Paladin was disbanded. However, Blaster Dark made a secret pact with the Council to re-establish their order as an unofficial troop and become the shadow of the United Sanctuary once more. In Claret's Sword's death, his mind was captured in Relics, the prison of souls. He fought in Relics for a long time. Fueled by his own ambition, he took on the form of Claret's Sword Dragon Revolt. He negotiated with Mujin Lord to be freed from the prison through defrauding Yuichiro Kanzaki. Little did Claret's Sword know that Yuichiro Kanzaki's will was so strong and the defraud was rejected. Claret's Sword was kicked out of Kanzaki's body and returned to Relics. The disappointed Mujin Lord just decided to destroy what remains of Claret's Sword, claiming that he is weak. This fueled anger in Claret's Sword. Enraged, the Black Dragon attained the power to perform Stride Fusion and evolved into Claret's Sword Helheim. The Archbishop Castiel found new purpose for Claret's Sword. The Black Dragon, who desired to be Grandmaster, is now cursed to fight in Relics for all eternity. Claret's Sword Helheim is a future form of Claret's Sword Dragon, where he has fought in Relics long enough that he was able to claim the territory as his own.